Day 14, 10:53 a.m. in the Big Brother UK All-Stars house. And winter has officially set into the Big Brother house. It is now really cold outside and everyone is bundled into their winter gear. And we also have added in a new chicken coop with the release of cottage living that happened today. The chickens are not in there just yet, but they will be coming. It is not Big Brother UK without chickens. We see that in the bathroom. Some of the house guests get ready and are trying to fix all the toilets before the mad rush of house guests go into there. Big Brother is just now turning on the lights in the bedroom and making sure all the house guests are awake for the day, as today will be the last day for 3 of our house guests. Either Hellen, Bear, or Gary will be going home at the end of the episode, and it was up to you to save your favorite. We see that in the bedroom, Rylan seems to be venting to Emma, while Emma is still dealing with a massive breakout on her face. Meanwhile, a lot of the house guests are still in the bedroom. We see Gary has woken up naked and is actually pretty cold, as the house is actually pretty cold. One of them is eventually going to have to go over to the thermostat and set on the heat. And meanwhile, we have Nadia and Nikki having a little bit of a conversation. We see that Craig is talking to both Makosi and New York, and it looks as though Cameron is having a little bit of a conversation with Courtney Act, but it doesn't seem to be going as smoothly as all the others. Outside, we have both Gary and Rylan kind of standing near the heaters that are out there, warming themselves up a little bit, as again, no one has set on the hot air for the house itself. So a lot of people are actually going outside into the cold to warm up, which doesn't make much sense. In the bathroom, we see that Charley is picking a fight with Victor as he was fixing a toilet. She loves to pick fights with people and then act like it was really casual and that she was just joking. And the other person is always left super confused and upset while she feels good about the situation. It's kind of an endless cycle that she does with a lot of the house guests. We see that Bear has come over to join the conversation, but is mostly just complaining about the broken toilets and the mess that's going on in the bathroom, while both Gary and Davina stare at a light in the corner. Fascinating.
Ulak Zerv, Zombas. Vobal Zopi.
Over half of the housemates are crammed into the bedroom right now, all of them mostly sitting on the cold benches in the middle of the room, facing one another and just talking. We see that in the back of the room, we have a conversation going on between Pete, Courtney, Emma, and now Davina that she's walking into. Bear is also joining in the room, and almost all the house guests soon migrate in here. I don't know if it's the body heat of everyone just talking and in the same little area or what it is. And we also end up seeing that a lot of the house guests keep trying to go to this back corner as if they want to exit the door that's back there, but the door is locked, so they are unable to. They end up walking back here to do something. They can't do it, and then they just start talking to all the house guests that are back here. We see Davina is still glitching out while she's trying to talk to Pete. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, we have, of course, our bartender Cameron at the bar by himself practicing making drinks, but he doesn't seem to be in the best of moods this morning, especially after Courtney chewed him out. At 12:06 p.m., our 3 house guests, Gemma, Hellen, and Isabelle, are still locked in isolation, individually by themselves. They've been in there all week long, and it doesn't really seem to be bothering them too much, but all of them are incredibly bored and just messing with their tablets, playing games, trying to get them to work, and they haven't really spent too much time doing anything else, except for Hellen, who has been spending this whole week working out. Hopefully, this is not her last week in the Big Brother house spent all by herself, but again, we will have to find that out a little bit later on. Outside, the snow is falling as winter has officially set in after that turbulent weather we had the past few days. Most of the house guests run outside to enjoy the new snow falling on the ground while also cuddling up around the heaters that are out there. At least for Bear and Gary, they are both able to enjoy their days in the house if they are potentially the ones to leave tonight. It seems as though Rylan is kind of annoyed with Bear and yells at him and makes him go away. Meanwhile, Gary is spending his time outdoors farting, which I guess is better than doing that indoors. Bear has gone over and has started talking to Charley. Meanwhile, we see that there's like this weird interaction between Craig and Courtney as both of them just stand there staring at each other and not saying anything. Back in the bedroom, Pete and Brian try to get some sleep but are both unable to due to the girls talking in there. Nadia and Nikki have been talking all morning long, but is slowly turning into an argument, like a lot of the conversations going on in the house right now. And a lot of the people that were in the garden all come into the bedroom to get warmed back up again, also still trying to make their way out that door that's back there. Not too sure why. And when I noticed that Brian woke up this morning, all of those spots were back on him, but this time a lot worse. So I had to go ahead, I had to call him into the diary room once again so Big Brother could give him some medicine and sort that out before it spreads throughout the house.
Pashka, Chalet. Cringe. Boy, I'm cringe.
At 3:21 p.m., Pete heads to the storage room to do some laundry in the washing machine. However, I have to watch pretty closely as I am terrified it's going to catch on fire, as it has done so twice before. I don't know, with winter being on the way, it is impossible for them to actually hang clothes outside to dry and stuff like that, so they are going to have to use the washing machine, and I just need to be a bit more careful, I guess. Meanwhile, again, everyone is hanging out still in the bedroom. Some of them are getting ready for tonight's eviction, putting on different outfits and talking. Meanwhile, a lot of them are still trying to go back there to that far corner. It's an emergency exit that I have installed, but again, it's for emergencies. I don't know if a lot of them are eyeing it, trying to pull a Gemma Collins and bust out the door and leave tonight, or if there is just some weird object back there that they want. I'm not too sure what it is, as none of them have ever had that desire to go back there before. But all of them slowly, one by one, make their way back to the store to try to get out of it, and then again get stuck back there and just continue having a conversation with one another. Meanwhile, in the front of the bedroom, Nikki still seems to be in a pretty upset, foul mood. She's been pretty happy all day, but all of her conversations slowly turn into arguments. So we see that she kind of ended up snapping at Nadia after talking to her all day. And now she's talking to Victor on, which I think is Isabelle's bed here in the far corner. And she's just instantly already annoyed as the conversation really begins. And once she actually sits down, it just turns into another argument with her. So I'm not too sure what's really upsetting her that much. And she's been completely avoiding Craig after their hookup in the showers. At 5:05 p.m., Big Brother finally decides to let our 3 house guests in solitary rejoin the rest of the house. Therefore, they have a little bit of time to get ready for tonight's eviction, especially our nominated house guest, Hellen. Gemma immediately heads into the backyard, where these 3 houseguests were not able to see the garden makeover, so she hops into the hot tub for the first time to get a relaxing soak-in before tonight's eviction. Meanwhile, Brian is heating up by a heater behind her, and Hellen immediately heads to the bathroom, where she is able to shower and get ready for tonight, as none of them have been able to shower all week. But unlike Hellen and Gemma, who aren't really planning on talking to anyone from the looks of it since coming back from isolation, Isabelle heads straight into the big group of people in the bedroom and rejoins the conversation and tries to catch up with everyone. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bedroom, the argument that was going on between Nikki and Victor has soon become an argument with Nikki and Makosi, as Makosi is kind of headed over to defend her man, and Nikki wasn't having it. She immediately starts arguing with her and then tricks her, which surprisingly didn't piss Makosi off even more. In the kitchen, Davina has replaced Cameron at the bar, and instead of actually making drinks, she's just kind of standing there idly. Meanwhile, Nadia in the storage room finally cleans up those burn marks from the washer-dryer fire, however, completely ignores the pile of dust and trash that's in the middle of the room. And outside, we have a lot of our house guests gathering out there, looking at the snow, gathering around the fire, and just waiting for tonight's eviction. And that being said, we are soon going to cross over to the outside of the house and begin tonight's eviction. Who did you guys save from going home today? Is it Hellen, Bear, or Gary? Let's go ahead and find out. But, of course, we have to introduce none other than myself, Hot Dogs, here to host tonight's eviction. Aaron couldn't be here tonight because of obvious reasons. However, we do have our first eliminated house guest, Brian, here in the audience. But let's go ahead and cross to the house and talk to them live. Hello, house guest. You are live on my YouTube channel. Please do not swear. Hellen, Gary, and Bear, the three of you have been nominated for eviction this week by your fellow house guests, and the public have been voting to save their favorite. And the person with the most saved votes, and therefore safe from eviction this week, is... Hellen. You have had the most saved votes, therefore you are safe from this week's eviction, and you can make your way off of the nomination couch and onto the regular one, as it is now down to Gary and Bear. Alright, Gary and Bear. On Twitter, I know that your percentages were almost decimals apart, and it has been very close. For the first time, we do not have a complete unanimous vote. However, with the least votes, Bear, you have been evicted from the Big Brother UK All-Stars house. Please make your way outside, and Hot Dogs is coming to get you.
Oh, Stifa Mubis, huh?
Alright, Bear, I am sorry that you are sitting here with me. However, we do have a few questions to go ahead and ask you. Now, of course, we do have to talk about how you got into a little bit of a showmance with Tiffany New York Pollard the past couple days. However, today it actually ended right before eviction. The reason why you have these bruises on your face is because you tried to steal money from her, resulting in a fight. However, if we do go ahead and look at your relationship statuses, because of how much love you had for her, she is still your favorite house guest. So you will be donating all of your money to New York. However, compared to that, your least favorite house guest in the house was Hellen, with most of the house guests being pretty neutral, if not zero. And with that 22 big bucks from you, Bear, that has made Tiffany's new total 39 big bucks. But I'm sure you got to go ahead and head out of here, as we have a court case coming up for you beating your girlfriend. But see you later. And you guys have officially made Bear the second person evicted from the Sims 4 Big Brother UK All-Stars house. And be back next week as we do it all over again, however, with an exciting new twist as the house guests are put into a new task that will put them against one another. And it results in there being no nominations. You guys have free will to save whoever you want to save, and there will be a twist to that, but almost everyone is going to be up on the block next week. So come back for that as we introduce this brand new task, this brand new twist. It's going to be a really exciting week. And of course, follow me on all social medias, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you Monday. Bye.